The breaking of a prophet comes through development and oversight. In the text it says, then Elkanah returned home to Ramah without Samuel. That kind of hit me because I'm a mommy and a grandmommy. He came home without Samuel. It didn't mention Hannah here. It said the daddy came home, which was an agreement in the house that the mommy and the daddy understood that the prophet belonged to God. It's not an easy thing to leave your child after birth for God's use. But they were in agreement because when God has a prophet, he has birthed them for a purpose, and he needs folk who will come in agreement with that. And so the boy, now here we go, the breaking. The boy served the Lord by assisting Eli, the priest. We might be talking about a bishop. Eli, to me, was like a bishop. All the bishops, wave your hand and if you're sure. Did y'all see the boy served? The boy served the Lord by assisting. Working in tangent. They working together there. It is not a separation or there's nothing about a seat here. Y'all ain't saying nothing. This is doing the will of God and walking out purpose. And so what God was saying to me is that though we are anointed, created by God for purpose to prophesy, we still need development and oversight. So under my point of breaking, the reason I chose this scripture, there were many scriptures I wanted to use, but the fact that the daddy left the boy with God, and the representation of God was Eli. Because God honors men, and we've got to learn how to do it ourselves. God honors men. They're not all perfect, but he still honors them. Whenever he wants to get something done, he goes and finds a man, meaning a man or a woman. So here we go. The first thing about the break-in is intentional and unintentional separation. When you are a prophet, there must be intentional and unintentional separation. There will be, I should say. Hannah promised God, and Elkanah agreed. Elkanah, he agreed, and they both left the child. Listen what it says. It says that she weaned him, and weaning. She weaned him. She waited until she weaned him from the breast. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Some folks still on the breast, and it's too long. I had a friend that I nursed all my kids, but I had a friend that wanted to take it further, do something different. And nursed her child till it was 2 or 3. Tell your neighbor you can't stay on the breast forever. Because you're growing into a grown-up. Okay, so she weaned him, which is significant to me because it says that weaning for a prophet becomes a lifestyle. It is a discipline that must be learned. What am I saying? A prophet must learn to wean themselves, even though it's comfortable and it's good and it's tasty, it's appealing, it's comforting. But you must learn, weaning, I mean, to pull yourself from things that taint and cripple the gift. Just as a baby will grow to be a man and he must not stay on the breast, so must a child of God who is a prophet. A child must become a matured prophet. I'm teaching. I believe that's why we have so much mess, because folk have not learned how to wean themselves from stuff that taint and mess with their gift. So the baby had to be weaned. Can you imagine a baby being weaned and then brought to a stranger's house to live out his life? Which brings up the next point of breaking is sacrifice. Because a prophet will learn at times there will be separation between you and family, and you and friends, and you and associates. By the Spirit, Hannah was used because she understood that separation had to happen in his life. In fact, he needed it. We like to run in packs, but every now and then you must wean yourself from the pack to be with the one who called you to be a prophet. When we start running in packs all the time, we start saying what the other one says rather than what God has said to you individually. She was without her child, but he also was without them. They left him, and they were sad, but then he was without them. Somebody say separation. Put in a strange place. Anybody been in a strange place? I heard her say they hurt me, they criticized me. Put in a strange place to learn what was familiar. Y'all missed that. I said Samuel was put in a strange place to learn what was familiar. Familiar, I mean in a good way. What am I talking about? Well, he was put in the house of God with priests and prophets, which was strange for him, but it was something, and we talked about it, that he needed to become familiar with. I'll get to that. Because the next thing is a prophet must embrace servanthood. How many of y'all served before you really start going forth? Wave your hand. Most of us, we served. A prophet, still serving, that's right. But we serve, and we think servanthood, when we become a prophet, some people think servanthood is a nasty word. Because why aren't you honoring me? I'm a prophet. Why aren't you taking me to my seat? Why aren't you bringing me a glass of water? It says that Samuel served Eli. Did y'all remember that? So a prophet must learn to serve and how to serve before he or she prophesies. Which brings me to the point that I feel God was trying to impress. We must become acquainted with the church, which is, remember, he gave the gifts to the church. We don't want the church, and the church doesn't want us, but the church is what he gave the gifts to. And so we must, if we're going to be his gift, somebody say, I want to be a gift. I want to be a gift and not a curse.